Hold on to your hats, folks, because the UK's agricultural sector is in uproar. Scottish farmer Bryce Cunningham has launched a no-holds-barred attack on Labour's controversial farm tax policies, describing them as a two fingers up to farming. This fiery criticism comes as Labour scrambles to defend itself against growing rural discontent, with shocking new polls revealing that only 1 in 5 voters believes the party even cares about countryside workers. But don't take my word for it. Check out this explosive clip of Tony Maguire speaking with Bryce Cunningham in Ayrshire, exclusively on GB News.
I'm joined this morning by Bryce Cunningham. Bryce, thank you so much for having me here at the farm. We are slap bang between Christmas and New Year, and yet farming doesn't stop, does it? What are we up to today?
Absolutely, yep. So farming must go on. The cows don't know it's Christmas or Twixmas is in the middle of. So right now behind me, so Elizabeth, our farm manager, she's now bedding up the cows. We finished the milking about an hour ago, and the cows have just been fed. So there's lots of things to keep us busy right in the middle of winter.
And there's some beautiful calves behind us. I don't know if there's a shop. If you stick with us through the day, don't worry, there'll be lots of cute calves coming your way. But of course, just now especially, it's really hard to kind of talk about farming without talking about the political whirlwind of the last few months. You know, Rachel Reeves' budget really, making a lot of people very concerned for their future. You mentioned you're third generation farmer here. Tell me, how did that news land for you?
For me personally, I felt it was a little bit of a sort of two fingers up to farming from the government kind of thing. However, as time goes on, farming's one of the most resilient industries out there. It's the original industry. Everyone's eaten since day dot. So I think it's going to survive. How it's going to survive is one of the question marks we have. But me personally, I believe that farming itself has to change in the way that we operate. We have to get fairer prices for the food that we sell as farmers. We need to get away from this whole sort of supermarket globalisation, big dairy sort of attitude where the farmer always pays for everything and gets the lowest possible prices, and I think we really need to go different all the way from the bottom of the supply chain all the way to the top.
Now, you're obviously an organic farm here. In fact, I just found out just a moment ago one of only 2 farms in Scotland that keeps the calves and the mothers together. But you're also part of a farming cooperative. Now, given this situation, it feels like diminishes it somewhat, given this unsettling time for the farming industry. I mean, we even heard today a poll says that only 1 in 5 people think that Keir Starmer cares about people in the country, and that includes farmers. But give us an idea, that farming cooperative you're a part of, what strength does that give you with the future you're now facing?
Well, we genuinely believe that small-scale farming has a real future in Scotland and across the UK, of course. And what we believe is that there's strength in numbers. So as small-scale farmers, we can work together to pasteurise milk. On site here at Bisgill, we actually pasteurise milk for 5 other farms. Sorry, I should have said that. And what we believe is, because we've got this direct relationship with the end user, the consumer, our supporters effectively, we can then ask the supporters to support us with higher prices. We can then deliver those prices back to farms. And in the middle, the milk we do is brewing. We don't actually pasteurize the milk, we brew it, so it creates a really different flavour, and it's giving everyone value in the supply chain. So that's the consumers getting a better product, the farmers are getting better pay, and it allows everyone to work together for a better future for small-scale farmers.
The clip may have lasted only a few minutes, but its impact continues to reverberate across the UK. Bryce Cunningham didn't hold back, labelling Labour's inheritance tax policies on farmland as nothing short of a betrayal. He described the move as an outright attack on an industry that forms the backbone of the country's rural economy. His words resonated deeply with viewers as Cunningham painted a vivid picture of farmers struggling to stay afloat, while Labour presses ahead with what he called urban-centric policies that disregard the countryside. The outrage is mounting. Farmers across the country are taking to social media, posting images of their fields and livestock with captions like "Save our farms" and "Labour out of touch." Even agricultural leaders, often hesitant to wade into politics, have been vocal about the damage Labour's proposals could inflict on rural communities. The National Farmers Union has released a statement warning of the catastrophic long-term consequences these tax hikes could have on the viability of farming enterprises, particularly for small family-run farms. This growing unrest has sparked panic within Labour's ranks. Facing plummeting trust among rural voters, the party has tried to defend its policies by emphasising its steadfast commitment to farmers. However, this message appears to be falling on deaf ears. A recent poll conducted by Public First revealed that only 20% of voters believe Labour cares about people living and working in the countryside, a devastating blow for a party that is desperately trying to expand its appeal beyond urban strongholds. Adding fuel to the fire is a fresh wave of criticism surrounding Labour's broader tax policies. While farmers are feeling the brunt of the inheritance tax changes, middle-class families across the UK are also bracing for impact. With Labour's tax hikes set to add an eye-watering £8,000 to household bills by 2025, families are growing increasingly alarmed about their financial futures. From council tax increases to private school fees now subject to VAT, the sheer scale of the tax burden has left many questioning Labour's promises of fairness. The Institute for Fiscal Studies has weighed in, warning that the UK tax burden is rising to levels never before seen in the country's history. For middle-income earners, the impact is stark. Take the example of a typical household with two earners making just over £55,000 each. They'll face an additional £3,520 in tax threshold freezes, £1,410 from increased employer national insurance, and over £2,600 in extra costs for private schooling. Even grocery bills are set to rise due to what critics are dubbing the grocery tax. The frustration is palpable. Shadow Business Secretary Andrew Griffith has called these measures completely unacceptable, accusing the government of being out of touch with Middle Britain. He warned that the country is heading for a January of discontent, with families and businesses alike bearing the brunt of Labour's tax raid. But Labour is digging in its heels. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has defended the policies, arguing that the funds raised are crucial for improving public services and reducing inequality. In a speech last week, she dismissed the criticism as overblown, urging voters to focus on the long-term benefits of Labour's economic vision. Yet, this message has done little to quell the rising anger, particularly as Reeves refuses to rule out further tax hikes in the coming years. In a surprising twist, Labour's woes have opened the door for some unexpected opportunities. Over in Scotland, a different kind of political drama is unfolding. Ash Regan, leader of the Alba Party, has reached out to Tesla CEO Elon Musk, urging him to consider Scotland as the site for his next European gigafactory. The move has sparked a heated debate about the future of Scotland's economy, with Regan arguing that the investment would bring billions of pounds and thousands of skilled jobs to the region. Musk, however, remains a controversial figure. Known for his polarizing political views and often incendiary social media presence, he has previously blamed Brexit for his decision to invest in Germany rather than the UK. Still, Regan is determined to make her case. In an open letter to Musk, she highlighted Scotland's strong transport links, port access, and skilled workforce as key reasons why Tesla should choose her country for its next major investment. While the prospect of a Tesla factory in Scotland has generated excitement among some, it has also drawn criticism from environmental activists who warn about the potential ecological impact of such a massive facility. Protests at Tesla's Berlin gigafactory have shown just how contentious these developments can be, with activists frequently clashing with police over concerns about water pollution and deforestation. Back in Westminster, the Labour government's attention is firmly on damage control. As public anger grows, the party is scrambling to shore up support in rural areas. Sir Keir Starmer has announced plans to visit several farming communities in the coming weeks, hoping to reassure voters that Labour is listening to their concerns. Whether this last-ditch effort will be enough to repair the damage remains to be seen. For now, the future looks increasingly uncertain. Farmers are mobilising like never before, middle-class families are bracing for financial hardship, and Labour's approval ratings are sinking fast. And with the potential for a January of discontent looming on the horizon, the political landscape is more volatile than ever. One thing is clear. The fallout from these controversies is far from over.